Weekend finally here. Oh my goodness. Ooh, I just woke up a couple minutes ago, so bear with me. I've been working late. I'll just breezing through some of the news stories from this week. And this one here, I was like, what? What? This is crazy. I'm from Pennsylvania, so it kind of applies.
Simple amendment to their Women's History Month resolution. Include a definition of women. Watch this.
The chair recognizes the majority leader who calls up House Resolution 390, printers number 2771 on page 8 of today's House calendar. Clerk will read a summary of the resolution.
A resolution recognizing the month of March 2026 as Women's History Month in Pennsylvania, introduced by Representative Carol Hill Evans.
Well, the Democratic House Speaker immediately pulled the resolution and her party members went silent. Tommy, something tells me you're not going to be surprised by this. But it's not. Simple
They pulled it because they didn't want to define, that's the narrative, that they didn't want to define woman, what a woman actually is. It's like, what the fuck? What is happening out there, guys? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This week's been kind of crazy. The Senate passed a DHS funding bill. Isn't that great? That's great, right? Is that great? I don't know. I don't think it's great.
The Senate passing a bill overnight to fund TSA and most of the Department of Homeland Security.
Except,
But the legislation excludes funding for ICE and most of CBP.
well, that's not very helpful. Why are the Republicans so weak? Why are they so weak? Oh, stop that. Why are we so weak? They will use women as voter depression now. Oh man, dude. Here come the where oh there. Doctor. I don't know. I don't know what you're gonna do, how you're gonna stop all this craziness. There's just this silliness out there. Nashville journalist speaks out. Nashville journalist speaks out after spending 2 weeks in ICE detention. Except she's actually a foreign national who didn't go to her scheduled hearings. But the news, they push that out. Social media will push out the false story. Like this one. What's his name? Straka. The walk away movement guy. I just don't get it. So like there was this one post he put out recently, yesterday, let me find it here, of Madami. He said, I just got up, guys. Just give me a break here. Jeez, oh man, guys are so unforgiving. Put out this video of Madani and put the caption with it. Here we go. I'll just pull it up. That's way easier if I just pull it up. A New York Muslim mayor is opposing Trump's mass deportation efforts, with critics saying his actions are becoming increasingly violent. Oh, I guess I should put it on the screen. Jeez. One of them days, guys. Bear with me.
How many more New Yorkers not charged? Do you believe in the First Amendment? Do you believe in the First Amendment, Tom Homan? How many more New Yorkers will the judge not charged?
So it was put forth as if this is happening now. No one mentioned the dark days ahead for New York. No one mentioned that that was during the campaign. Before he became mayor, and when he was trying to get on the news, and he was trying to get, some publicity in that. I said, breaking. This video is from during the campaign when he was trying to get into the news and looking strong. Do better. We don't need a lie to expose them. And we don't. We don't. But people were, it doesn't matter. Some guy replied to me, it doesn't matter when it was. Like, yeah, sure it does. It's important for the context of the whole thing. Why would you push forward that something that happened a year ago or August or so? I was last summer, so about a year ago. Why would you put that out and not say it was from last year? Because you want people to think it's from right now. It's the same thing with that video I showed you the other day of the people in Philadelphia that were sitting there saying they wanted to, cheer on dead soldiers and whatever. And then they showed a video. What's his name? Can't stand that guy. Dang it, I can't think of it. Benny. He put out a video of protesters in Philadelphia waving the flag, burn American flags, and put that forth like it was right now. But then I went on YouTube to look it up to do some research on it, and the video he posted was from last year. But he was saying it was from now. It's like, what can you believe? You don't even need AI for them to. I mean, they've been lying to us for decades. We don't need AI for that. We don't need AI for that. And then what do leftists do? They silence you. You're not allowed to speak. You're not allowed to have any kind of speech.
Father, death to the Zionist entity, death to America, and death to Dan Zimmerman.
So again, still following me.
For peace, for harmony, peace, for harmony, for the settler colony.
So why are you guys blocking me?
Why are you walking through the crowd?
I'm not walking. You're not in the crowd. The crowd is over there. So why don't you go back to the crowd? Again, all blocking me. Not in the crowd. The crowd is over there. Can I do my job as a journalist, please?
Across the country and do their manufacturing of weapons because
You got credentials
We have, yes, go to surgemedia.us.
Listen to me, okay? I asked them not to come in here. I'm going to ask y'all not to come here. Do not come in his personal space, okay? You stay there, he will stay here. It's our job, okay? Don't do our job. We're here to do it. Stay in your space, he will stay in his space, okay? Thank you.
Are you respecting
Seems
the
so simple.
created right now?
By the genociders in this,
Is this some type of quarterback running debate?
I'm making walls. I think they didn't believe in walls. I thought walls were bad. What a week it's been. On a side note, I think I said I started a new business, and we started that business this week, and it's been a pretty successful week. We've done pretty good. Had some work to do every day. Things are starting to roll. That's beautiful. So, enough sitting around and waiting to find a job. I was laid off in January from a job from this, well, turns out to be a pretty scummy company. But I was laid off from this pretty scummy company after a year of saying, "Oh, we're going to put you in charge of the whole division and blah blah blah. You have all this experience. This is going to be great." Anyway, they laid me off in January because they got rid of the position. So I'm sitting there looking for a job. I work in construction. I've been in leadership, project management, that kind of stuff. It was pretty hard to find a job in the middle of January for construction, which isn't surprising. So instead of just waiting around or complaining or whatever, I decided to be proactive, and I went out and made another business. I used to do it before. I did it again. And, my wife always says, you're not meant to work for other people anyway. Oh, wait. I was going to show you this video, but now it seems to be gone. So I see in Iran. Anyway, so the business, yeah, it's very busy. But you know what? We live in America, right? Isn't that amazing? I can be like, I can't find a job, and that's not the end of the story. There's more to the story. I can go, you know what? The heck with this. I'm going to start my own business. So I essentially sat at home for a month, going, I'm unemployed. I mean, I wasn't pouting, but I was like, I'm unemployed. And then one day I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a business. Now I'm instantly no longer unemployed. Matter of fact, I have risen to the top of a company, just like that. It's happening. The Iranian people have begun taking their country back. The anti-regime combat unit successfully ambushed several vehicles belonging to the IRGC security forces and eliminated them in the city of Nushabad. Oh, yeah, I can't play that. That's violence. We can't put that on there. But be rest assured, the Iranians are out there actually taking care of their own business. They're finally standing up. And that was one of the biggest questions about what was going to happen in Iran. Were the people going to stand up and fight back? Were they finally going to have had enough? And because they aren't armed there. They don't have any weapons. They don't, are we arming them? I don't know. Are they defeating and stealing weapons? I don't know. Philadelphia streets are shut down again. When you disagree with the Colonel is the greatest of deceivers. Kind of like Satan, huh? Yes, same kind of business. That's what I know. I'm good at it. And it's I've been in the business long enough. I've seen so much. There's so many scum. I mean, it's sorry, but there's so many scumbags in the construction industry, especially since COVID. Because during COVID, people were like, "Oh, man, I got laid off. Well, I got a truck and a ladder. I guess I'm a roofer now." No, you're not a roofer now. I know nothing of their religion, but I just can't believe that there are not good people among them. Absolutely. You know what? God loves everybody, right? We're all God's children. Do you believe that? I believe it. I think he loves everybody. I think he wants people to turn away from Islam. I think there's good people in it, but they've been deceived. They've been raised up in it. They've been deceived by the people that raised them into believing that kind of stuff. I'm not getting too deep into it, but but yeah, so the people of Iran are finally standing up. That's wonderful. I'd like to see what happens If I don't know if we're arming them or not. Tiger Woods. What is happening? There's the mugshot, I guess. Yesterday at about 2 p.m., I was listening to the radio. Tiger Woods' mugshot just dropped, and it's raising questions. Blue was 0.00, but still arrested for DUI. No alcohol, still charged. Second DUI, third crash, refused further testing. Something isn't adding up here. If it wasn't alcohol, then what was it? Do you think there's more to the story that we're not being told? I mean, I think he's been through a lot of surgeries. I think he's had a lot of surgery, and he's probably on all kinds of medications. I listened to the story when the sheriff was out there talking about it. And they were saying, I guess there was a truck in front of him on a 2-lane road with no shoulder, and there's a truck in front of him it was towing a pressure washing apparatus, they said. And I guess he tried to pass him while the guy was going to turn into a driveway or something. Long story short, he clips the back of the trailer, flips onto the left side, and slides down the road. That's what they said. It said it wasn't a rollover. It was only it went outside and then slid down the road. Then he got out of his car, climbing through the passenger door, which was on the top of the car, obviously, at this point. They said they gave him extensive roadside checks for intoxication, and he failed them. And they said they took into consideration his injuries and his surgeries and all that other stuff. Oh, I should probably get let's put him on there. And all that other stuff. So they took that into account, and then they took him into jail. They arrested him about 3 p.m. I forgot to check. They have to keep you in Florida if you don't submit to the drug test or the urinalysis or whatever they decide they want to do. Then they have to keep you in jail for 8 hours. So he was supposed to get out last night around 11 or 12 or whatever it was. I don't know if he did. I assume he did. I imagine he has enough money to post bail. Oh, that's if your son's a certified welder, he's gonna make good money. Welders make some good money. He should retire. But you gotta take all those things into account. You can't, there's so many people out there that are like, yeah, F that guy. He's rich and blah, blah, blah. And that's really the only thing they see. Oh, he's rich. So F that guy. That's not how we should talk. That's not how we should believe. We should, I don't hope that he has struggles and pain and all that stuff. Anyone thinking that is not acting in a Christian way. Yes, he does need to hire a driver. He does need to hire a driver. I haven't done this in a while.
Does anyone know what is the biggest military achievement of pathetic USA Army?
I bet you're going to tell us. I bet you're going to let us know. You're going to tell us what it is. Yeah, so he blew a zero. I know. Actually happened to me one time when I blew a zero. I got arrested for DUI on a military base, and they took me down and gave me the blow test, and it ran all zeros. So nothing happened, obviously, but that was fun because when I was getting into the blows, long story short, I don't know, should I tell the story? Whatever. We were at NTC, which is the National Training Center in Fort Irwin, California. That's where we were stationed. I was stationed elsewhere, but we flew out. You go out there for a month and a little bit over a month, and you train. And you come back after that. It's hard. You come back, and then that night I got pulled over because I had an extra person in my car. Yada yada yada. They took me down and had me do the blow test. But the specialist, the guy that's a rank in the military, if you don't are familiar, the specialist was standing there in the doorway, going, "I got you now. I got you now. You're gonna blow. You're gonna be. I got you now. Just stand right there next to me." And then I knew I was going to blow a zero. So I was like laughing at him, and I reached there, blew the zero. And then the sergeant yells at the specialist and says, "Next time you bring me somebody who you say has been drinking, make sure they've been drinking." That was good. I drive better when I'm drunk. See, that's not good. F that guy who cares about his money. He's cocky, immoral, and will never learn. He should do some time more than what his money can buy him out of. Again, money is not the issue. So you're saying he deserves jail time because he's immoral or cocky? I'm not a fan of Tiger Woods. Don't get me wrong. I could care less about golf. I don't care about any of that stuff, you know. But, yeah. Yeah, I don't have. I mean, I obviously it's bad that he's out there doing what he's doing. If he's doing that, I don't know. I don't know if he said he blew a zero. How long after did he do the test? Who knows? Oh, I did see this though before the. Maybe we'll skip that one.
Or works.
No one likes him, but it probably true to play him. Yeah, I just don't. I don't know what's happening in the world today. It's crazy. I see these stories all the time because I don't know who knows, but I have plenty of children all in school, and so I saw this story and I'm like, what in the heck? And it's not surprising anymore.
2 on your agenda, which was book purchasing. Before you purchase new books, you need to get rid of the 500 filthy books that you have. I'm going to read one. If there's children in the audience, they need to leave.
Ma'am, point of order. This is a public hearing.
I understand that.
You will not be allowed.
I just love how they like, for instance, these, don't they see it? These books are in their school libraries. But they don't let them, I've seen this a bunch of times, but they protest and won't let them read it at a school board meeting. So it's good enough for the kids, but not good enough to read. It's indecent to read at a school board meeting. So where are we at right now? Why do people not have the ability to look and see, hey, wait a second. That stuff's not good to read to other adults. Maybe we shouldn't have it in school libraries. Oh, but you're book burning. You're banning books. That's what Hitler did, blah, 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 blah. In these cases, they're talking about taking these books out of school so they can't influence your children with their disgusting smut. I don't ever use that word, smut. But yeah, let me finish this out. If you have delicate ears, I haven't had a chance to bleep out the words, so clutch your pearls if you need to.
If there's children in the audience, they need to leave.
Ma'am, point of order. This is a public hearing.
I understand that.
You will not be allowed to read things that are not appropriate in public.
Oh, not appropriate. Then why are they in your schools?
Ma'am,
this
you're
book
missing your time.
is in DeBakey, Fur, and Heights High School. His cock was enormous.
Oh.
Absolutely not, ma'am. You are now out of order. This is your first warning. One more word and you will be removed.
She wrapped her hand around his cock.
It's good for school.
Not. This is your second warning.
Tongue sliding into the small slit.
Officer, please.
If you don't like it, remove it so the children don't have access to it.
Ding. Ding. Why isn't that the law? Why isn't that what most people think? If you don't want to hear this, why the fuck do you give it to our kids? Oh, I know why. Because you want to normalize all this disgusting behavior, all this selfish behavior, all this me first. What pleasure can I get out of life? It doesn't matter. Anything else doesn't matter. There's nothing bigger than me. I just want to. That's ridiculous.
You're being removed. Thank you very much.
Being removed. She should have just sat there and let him take her out.
Yes, sir.
My name is.
Why do we not do what she said and say, if we don't want to see this stuff, take it out. Take it out of the schools. So many people out there just so. Ugh. I just don't get it.
Agrees.
And yeah, I'm gonna watch this a little bit here. So Dave Rubin, who I'm no fan of, reads Cenk Unger's own video titles back to him, and Cenk explodes. So this is interesting, I think. Although, like I said, I'm not a big fan of Dave Rubin, but
Seems to me that everyone agrees that Donald Trump is not Hitler and his supporters are not Nazis. So with that in mind, I'd like to read some other headlines. These are video titles from Cenk's channel. And if in the spirit of reconciliation, maybe he wants to delete these things. Trump cuts anti-Nazi program. Trump spreading Nazi propaganda. Nazis encouraged by Trump's Charlottesville response.
Propaganda.
Trump defends Nazis,
Influence.
very fine people. That is the biggest political hoax ever. Trump retweets a neo-Nazi again. Trump disappoints neo-Nazi supporters. So these things don't come out of nowhere. I only blame one person at the end of the day for these murders, which is the crazy person who does the murders. But pretending that what is wildly asymmetrical, I think I have laid that out with evidence here, pretending that it's symmetrical is deeply, deeply dangerous. Piers, you know.
on a side note, Cenk the other day on a show for the Young Turks, they were talking about inbreeding or something like that, marrying your first cousins, and he actually volunteered the information that his grandparents were first cousins.
This because we've discussed it on my show. Even on your show, you have found it way more difficult to find rational, decent people on the left who will explain themselves thoughtfully and calmly and everything else, while the panoply of people you get on the right who shouldn't even be on the right, I would say certainly someone like me, I don't know exactly where Batya considers herself, but people with a variance of political opinions that now broadly are part of the MAGA thing is because of what I just read you, the endless hysteria of the left that has ginned up people to do crazy things. It's not to say you can't say the worst things. You want to say the worst things, Donald Trump's a Nazi. It's so tough to say. You want to say that, go ahead and say it. It falls on the person who pulls the trigger. But if we're all sitting here saying, yeah, it's not true that Donald Trump's a Nazi and it's not true that his supporters are Nazis and he's not Hitler and all of those things, well, then
in a misleading way against me. Are you trying to
are
get
those
people
your
to be
titles?
violent?
Are those the titles
this
of your
is
videos?
disgusting.
No.
So no. Let me explain.
No.
Let me explain.
Those are your titles.
No,
buddy.
let me explain. You're asking me a goddamn question.
Uh-oh.
So let me explain while you're trying to get people to do violence against me. You're disgusting. So those are 80% of those titles. I've never called Trump a Nazi, and those titles were about neo-Nazi reactions. So what do you want us to do? Not tell you
very fine
what's
people.
actually
Did that
happening?
happen?
And
Did
so
Donald-
look.
Did Donald Trump side with neo-Nazis?
Yes, he did say that.
So in Charlottesville.
So
Piers, how about you handle this one instead of giving it to me? Piers,
can I just talk? So this monster is trying to egg on violence.
What did Donald Trump say after very
and he
fine
won't
people?
even let
I'm
me
not
talk.
talking about the neo-Nazis or the white supremacists who should be condemned completely. It's the biggest debunked conspiracy theory of all time. You're still pushing that now?
Yeah.
You're still pushing the very fine people hoax now? I'm shocked even for you.
Dave, no. Dave, shut up and let me answer your stupid question. So on that day, which now we're going back to that for no goddamn reason other than you're trying to get people angry at me for misleading things.
I'm reading your titles. You should be angry at your titler.
He did. Shut up and let me answer. So did he say there are very fine people on both sides? He did. So that's a fact. Now, who was he referring to? As we've explained on the Young Turks, he might have been referring to the people who were in favor of the Confederacy and came out there to support Confederate generals. I didn't find that to be any better. Those people were in favor of slavery. Those people lynched black people. So I'm not going to ever cheerlead for them, and I'm not ever going to shut
Jake,
up.
in the very next sentence, did he say, I'm not talking about the white supremacists
so
or
you're
the
not going to get me to shut up,
totally.
and you are.
That's a great question. And it's in the schools. Did we get evidence of that? Are you living under a rock? Where you been the last 10 years? Do you think that grandma went up to the school to read that stuff because she wanted to? Do you think that, like, I get it. You think you got us because we didn't. Pardon me. because I didn't personally go to the school and check the library. So then you ask that question and you're like, I got him because he can't prove it. It is a pretty silly question. He's throwing a fit because he knows he's pushing lies and propaganda 100%. 100%. 100%. What's with all these cringy videos these guys put out lately? This is the mayor of Toronto.
Mayor Chow, what do you think about ICE coming to Toronto?
ICE have no place in this city. Toronto is about to welcome thousands and thousands of families because of FIFA World Cup, where everyone belongs, everyone's welcome. So stay out, ICE. We do not need you here.
Mayor Chow.
Oh, Toronto's in Canada. I don't know. Just saying. I mean, that should kind of be important. That should kind of be important. What do you think of all these things I've been seeing in the skies lately? I keep seeing videos of orbs moving throughout the sky. What moves like that?
Right there next to me.
Keep it on, because I'm going to pop out of nowhere now.
Oh.
I can walk into any school board meeting with a book and claim Calamessa. I can walk into any school board meeting with a book and Calamessa that. It doesn't mean it's true, though. That's the issue. I love humble pie, but I can never find proof.
What are you going to do? You're never going to convince people like that. Some people are subverted beyond any help. Some people are like, not true. It's not happening. That's not happening. You're lying. You're lying. That's not happening. Not at all. I mean, what else? What? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Is drops an Obama supporter? I don't know. Probably. Just go back to having your hand. Stop being nasty because I'm asking questions.
Is this being nasty? I'm not being nasty. How am I being nasty? I just changed my voice to be a little higher. That's all. I just wanted to bring attention to your comment because it's so intelligent. It deserves the attention. No one's allowed to fight. No one's allowed to say that because they didn't go personally into that school library and check. Do you really? Is your argument really that woman brought a book, just some random book, just some pornographic material to the school board meeting to read it and pretend that it was in the school? That's your argument, huh?
Wrong. That's not being nasty. That's just being kind of, I'm just trying to be a little comical about it. If you think that's nasty, the reason that you do is because you're soft. Your skin's thin. Can't play in this game, like this political game, if you can't take it. It gets hard out here. What I asked for proof, not that you're lying. Why are we like this? What proof? How am I supposed to give you proof? Oh, if that's the truth. Thank you kindly for your service. If that's the truth. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. What the school board should have done is asked her to stand aside and take note of the book, look into it, and remove it. Man, that seems so logical. That seems so very logical. Anyway, it's like that's the easy way. That's the easy way to defend to argue that story. Just say, "Oh, I need proof." Well, yeah, I mean, I can't go get you proof. I don't want to play that. I just saw a story. I'm not going to play it, but it's on video. San Francisco judge admitted she released a violent thug from prison, who then went on to kill an elderly man because she was worried prison would be, quote, too hard on him. Let's play it. It's important that we see this stuff, to see it's actually happening. It's kind of like how my one kid, he wants to play football, and it's important. He wants to go to the NFL draft and see it. And I'm like, yeah, because he wants to see that it's real, that it actually happens, that people actually make it there. It's not just a pipe dream or a story people told you. Like, what was the point of that? That's the guy that got whatever out of jail, and that's an elderly man. It's just, why? Why?
Well, Audrey, the family of Vitro Tanapakti is not happy about this sentence, and they are especially critical of the judge who oversaw this trial. They say that Judge Linda Colfax unfairly kept some details of Watson's prior juvenile record from the jury, but then considered his successful completion of juvenile probation in her sentencing decision today. Because of technicalities in the law, she decided to focus on one of the charges he was convicted of, assault causing great bodily injury, carrying a 3-year sentence. That's because the jury also found that when Antoine Watson violently attacked Vitro Tanapakti on January 28, 2021, they also found him guilty of 2 enhancements on that charge. Judge Colfax says the law allows an additional 5 years for those enhancements. Because Watson has already served 5 years in jail and then earned additional credit for time served for good behavior, she decided instead of sending him to prison for 2 more years, what's left of the sentence, she instead granted him probation.
The judge already had in mind what she was going to do, in my opinion, and they just carried it out. And her and the defense worked very well together.
Yeah. Wow. Her white guilt, let him free. You're right. Did you see the story the other day about those 2 guys that were both charged? See if I can find it. They were both charged for child prostitution and some other heinous crimes. I had it on the show the other day. They were sentenced. That one was sentenced by a judge, and then that judge stepped out. He went to an appointment on the state Supreme Court. And then another judge stepped in and decided to pass the sentence on the other guy. Where's this dang video? It's got to be a better system. Anyway, long story short, the first guy, they were going to some underage kid's house, and they and they were doing horrendous things. Doing horrendous things. And they ended up getting sentenced. The first one got sentenced to 30 to 50 years. then the other judge stepped in and sentenced the other guy who was already, guilty, and they sentenced him to 3 years. So the one got 30 to 50 years, and the other one got 3 years. I'm not sure how you justify that. But I'll tell you what, if I was the guy that got the 50 years, can you imagine what you would be like when you found out the other guy that supposedly did the same crime as you got 3 years? I think I'd freak out. And there's more fake news. Woman in Cambridge, Maryland goes viral after she deliberately hired a roofing crew that she knew was full of illegals, then called ICE the second the job was finished. Agents showed up and arrested 6 Guatemalan illegals right there on the site. Damn. That's the story. Here's the video. Let's see what you think. Remember, she waited until they were finished. I just have to say, those shingles on that roof are old shingles, and they still have the satellite dish in there. And the one guy is still carrying a roof ripper, a shingle ripper. So the roof is not done. This is just a job that they were on.
Nos cayó la pinche ley, valió madre. Nos rodearon.
This is just a job that they were on. They got called. I've been on jobs and had the crews get arrested like that too.
Estoy en todo el derecho de grabar, no estoy haciendo nada malo también. O sea, yo estoy cooperando, puedo cooperar con usted, no hay problema.
¿Estás grabando en este momento?
Estoy grabando. Sí.
Okay. Y se lo que pude por qué.
No, está bien. La verdad que yo estoy aquí, no estoy haciendo nada malo también. Triste lo que está pasando hoy aquí.
Get every last one of them, because those guys take money off my table. They take food off my table.
La verdad que perjudicando a la gente trabajadora, la gente.
All these companies that run these crews with illegal aliens, they should be ashamed of themselves. They should be absolutely ashamed of themselves for how, it's cheap labor. They just need to work and whatever. You're taking money out of an American's pocket right there when you do that kind of crap. On a side note, they're fast, but they're not good. I've project managed many of them. I've been in charge of their jobs for a lot of time. So I know what I'm talking about. So why aren't you in Iran right now? I think I'm over the age, but I'd gladly put on the uniform again. But the point is that they said, they tried to frame this as if this woman tried to get, a free roof, but that's not what happened. They just started ripping the roof off. If anything, she's kind of in a bad place, because now she's stuck with a roof that they just started to rip off a little bit. And now they're gonna have some kind of an emergency where they need to get that roof covered back up before it starts to rain. Plenty of roofs in Mexico. Yes.
A la vez todo tiene su propósito.
That's the kind of stuff that takes money out of my kids' mouths. Deport them all of them. We are a nation of laws. Here's another one of these weird orbs. I don't understand what's going on. Seems weird. The companies can't. That's partially true. The companies don't insure them, but they use them as 1099 contractors, so they don't have to insure them. They don't have to do anything. It's up to the crews to insure themselves. Typically, it's one American guy who lives here, and he ends up starting a company, and then he brings in a bunch of illegal aliens, and then that guy might have a legitimate company, but all the people that work for him are illegal aliens. So it looks good on paper, but it's not. Like I said, I worked for a company, this scummy company that did that, you know, and I hated it. I hated it. I felt I just didn't like it, you know. And on a side note, it's funny because everyone says they're so good. It's the same thing with the Amish. They think the Amish are really good at construction. It's not the case. It's just not the case. And trust me, I've been at this for 30. They can build the hell out of some furniture. Don't let them frame a house, though. I'm sure there's some good ones out there. Just my experience has been bad as far as that goes. Have fun getting drafted. Oh, I don't think they're going to draft me. The one guy got out 1 year, right out, got 3 weeks later. He's done it again. Now the judge gave him 25 years for hurting a child. They hurt a child for life, and the pedos should get life in prison. True. True. I just saw a story. There was a guy. Where was this at? There we go. I think I played this on the show a little bit ago whenever it happened. You're going to be mad. You should be mad about stuff like this.
A Las Vegas man who beat a 1-year-old to death has received no jail time. Christian Moniz Rubino was sentenced to probation for the death of 17-month-old Kai Tesoro, who suffered fatal injuries while in his care.
When I got a DUI.
What's up with that? What's going on with all these judges out here? There's a lot of nastiness out there. You scroll and you try to find some news to bring up, and it's either just people all angry and mad and whatever.
No. Do you think MAGA is dead?
See what this is all about.
Do you think MAGA is dead?
No, absolutely not.
No? Do you guys, do you think MAGA is dead? Are you done? No. Do you think MAGA is dead?
No.
MAGA's definitely not dead. That's probably the biggest joke that I've heard.
So I've heard online that MAGA is dead.
That's bullshit. Bullshit.
So MAGA is not dead.
No. All the way. We're there.
Is MAGA dead?
Absolutely not.
Not in the least. Not at all.
Would you say you are fully still behind Donald Trump?
Absolutely.
You guys are still with Trump?
Oh, 100% for sure. Go Trump, go Trump. I know a lot of Trump supporters.
We're asking Trump supporters if they are still with Trump.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Have you regretted your vote for Donald Trump?
No, ma'am. No, absolutely not.
Are you someone who voted for him that is leaving him and withdrawing support?
On Trump? No, I'm not late. You got to be careful what you listen to be honest, because there's a lot of lies out there.
What do you think? Do you still support him?
Yes.
100%?
Yeah, definitely.
God puts the leaders in position. Nothing happens in this world without his permission.
CNN said that they had 100%.
And then you see on CNN the other day, it was 100% MAGA for Trump.
Yeah.
You're still with him?
I mean,
100%.
On a side note, if you believe the 100% thing, I mean, I don't believe any polls that say 100%. You know, that just seems unbelievable.
And probably if he could run again, I would do it again.
You heard it here, guys. MAGA is not dead at all. Do you think MAGA is dead?
Nope, it's not. I don't blame the illegal. I blame the guy who hired the illegal. So they don't have to pay taxes on the undercut legal pay, which take money from hardworking Americans. Yeah. And they pay the legals really poorly. Really poorly. It's all about the profits, horrible situation. And they should be really punishing the ones that hire them like they used to. But yes, you have to place some blame on the illegal. Yeah, I get it. Emotionally, thinking emotionally, they were like, oh, they're just trying to do better. They're just trying to better themselves and this and that and this and that. But they come across the border. They know they're breaking our laws. That's like blaming the pimp and not blaming the prostitute. She's still involved. She's still doing it. You know what I mean? When MAGA gets quiet, you better watch out. That's true. That's true. I don't get how people just believe it. Jason Michael Han, also known as the Tupperware baby killer. Blah blah blah. What the heck? What? Wow, Jason Michael Hahn, also known as the Tupperware baby killer, was convicted of murdering his two infants, Montana and Jason, in 1999 and 2001, respectively. He received the death penalty in 2014, but after identifying as a woman and transitioning to Jessica Marie Han, that really should read itself. It's identifying as a woman and mental disordering himself into the name Jessica Marie Han, was transferred to a woman's prison in California in 2020. Han was moved to the Central California Women's Facility, where he is currently housed in the general population, not on death row, due to Governor Gavin Newsom's executive order suspending the death penalty in California. Han is reportedly awaiting taxpayer-funded breast implants, sparking controversy and debate about the use of public funds for his transition. The decision has raised concerns about the prioritization of Han's needs over those of law-abiding citizens and the potential risks to female inmates. Where are we that we think it's cool to put demented, crazy, violent criminals in prisons with women? Even if there's a lot of them that just do that so they can go to a woman's prison because they can't handle the man's prison. And there's some that do that because they really have that mental disorder. But none of it should be allowed. What about the other women? How many stories? I'll do some research. I've seen stories over the years about women that have been raped and sexually abused and that kind of thing in prisons where they put these demented men into. Oh. Yeah, definitely a woman. Totally a woman on the right. That's 100% woman. Yeah, that looks like a woman to me. I blame the government for making it hard for the illegals. This should be an interesting comment. A huge factor of the immigration problem is displacement from America and NATO war, sanctions, and oppression within their own government. A huge factor of the immigration problem is displacement from American and NATO wars. I mean, not really. And that's a cool narrative, but not really. Are we at war in Mexico? What about Honduras? What military operations do we have going on in Guatemala? Most of the ones that I ran into were Guatemalan and Mexican. Anyway, sanctions and oppressions within their own government. So maybe they should try to fight for their nation. How come none of these other countries, how come when you see men fleeing their countries, right, and they're coming to America and they're saying, oh, we're being oppressed and our government is corrupt and yada, yada, yada. How come, if there's so many of those, how come they don't fight for their own countries? How come they just abandon it and leave and come to America? I know why. Because they can come here and they can get free housing and they can get free medical and they can get a social security card, a driver's license, and they can get on welfare and we can pay for them to be here. It's amazing. It's the best. We should totally do that more. Look, I'll be honest with you. I'm not supporting any politician. I have been watching pro wrestling, lots of politics and backstage issues and everything. I'm so actually tired of this. I want to support channel. This MAGA bot guy.
This MAGA bot guy still yapping on and on. What a bum. Go sign up for the draft, Grandpa.
I call me Grandpa. That's so nice. Grandpa. I'm not there yet. Soon, a couple years, we'll get there. What you see in this beard is what some might refer to as wisdom. Yes, wisdom. Yes, let's go with that. Yeah. We can only allow so many into our country, or we end up paying twice as much for rent in a short amount of time. Yes, I think they should stop all immigration. They should throttle it way down to like 5% of what it is now. They did that back in the early 1900s, and it did just fine. But we should probably halt that so we can kind of catch our bearings, get rid of the ones that are coming, that are here illegally, and recover a little bit. Maybe we can keep a little bit more of our own money. Need some more milk. Yeah, there you go. Look in Virginia, that illegal was allowed to be in school 22 years old. Heard a young girl whoever allowed him into school should be jailed. Agreed. I have the story on that too here. 100%. 100% that kid shouldn't have been in any of our schools. That's crazy. I played this the other day. I got to play it again just because alcohol. Just because of alcohol. I was an alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic. Whatever you call it, but I look at these videos and I just think it's a shame, and it's a great thing to.
We got a Karen on the golf course right now.
You'll leave after I don't give you a goddamn thing.
I'm gonna take your clubs. This isn't even where you're.
Then leave.
I'm not getting a fight at a golf course.
Then leave. I'm gonna stand there.
Here it comes.
And you can complain. Goodbye.
I'm not complaining. You're the one.
No, you're the one that approached me, and I asked you to no longer speak.
You took her ball.
Please don't speak to me.
We're coming over.
You took her ball.
Bro, you took her ball.
Dude, I'm not gonna fight you over.
If you need money for a golf balls,
Walter, because I'll plant you, boy. Now get the off the cart.
Walter.
Walter.
Oh, here we go.
You see that?
Oh.
That's what you look in the heavens.
Come
You
on.
wanna test God, you come get it. Shit stack.
He's mentally ill.
Oh.
Let's move
You
along.
think I'm mentally ill?
Pretty clear.
Then the heaven. Hey, leave me alone.
And he says, "Leave me alone. Leave me alone." Okay. I think that's funny because that's a good highlight of how we're not supposed to act. That's a great example of how we're not supposed to act. What else did I have here? I had something else I wanted to. Where are we at here?
So
Representative Jay Powell is now calling for taxpayer-funded reparations for illegals. It's not enough that Democrats already gave them taxpayer-funded housing, health insurance, SNAP education, and debit cards. Now they want to pay them for invading us.
need offensive action. Then we also need offensive actions around prosecutions. We need real accountability because at the end of the day, the people that have been inflicting this harm need to be prosecuted. They need to be brought before us and they need to be held account for the trauma that they have created. And we are going to have some form of reparation. Then we also need
The day, hopefully, if the day ever comes when these tyrants, when these traitors to America that walk the halls of that once great institution called the Capitol building, if they do that, if they force the American people to, with their tax money, pay these illegal aliens for coming into our country, giving them reparations because we carried out our law enforcement. Because we did that, we owe them if they do that, hopefully the American people finally rise up. When the people fear the government, there is tyranny. When the government fears the people, there is liberty. They should fear us. I saw a thing the other day where they're all doing what's my thoughts? Prosecution is the key. I don't know about that. I think he's like top 3. I think he's on his way, but you're comparing him to some of the founders here. No, I don't care about ICE. Someone said no one really does. No one really does. What do you notice here? That's what someone said on this. This is people making no kings signage. What do you notice? What do you notice? I don't see anyone under the age of not that this is a bad thing. It's just something to notice. I don't see anyone without gray hair and stuff. And then I guess my point there is, are these just all retired hippies? Yeah. I just don't, whatever. It is what it is. I know that's where it's great. Yes, greatest of my 6. Absolutely. Greatest of my lifetime. Yeah. Greatest president of my lifetime. Chasing down the delivery riders, but the big bosses are untouched. Epstein list. Good morning and good luck. Yeah. Do we even know how much money we have given illegals? None of the founders have accomplished what President Trump has accomplished. Yeah. But they accomplished some great things themselves. I mean, you can't just be like, oh, the Epstein file. Oh, top 3. He's all over the Epstein files. He took us into an illegal war. Americans didn't want. Tank the economy. Divide Americans. List goes on. Yeah, what list, though? Where'd you get that list? Top 3 is all over the Epstein files. Have you looked at any of that? Or are you just, you're just repeating narratives? That's what you call regurgitating. That's amazing. Very good. Your puppet masters would be proud. If you actually look into it, the Iranian war isn't illegal. It's constitutional. Congress can act, but they haven't. There's nothing illegal about it. He's all over the Epstein files. Yep. Lots of people talk about him. That's right. I did a lot of searching through the Epstein files. Did a lot of digging because I don't want to find out that I'm supporting somebody who it turns out to be a horrendous, horrible, disgusting person. Tank the economy, divide Americans. Let's get. He hasn't divided Americans. How's he divided Americans? And the economy, it's not doing great, but it's going to do better. I'm not worried about it. It honestly doesn't affect me at all. I haven't noticed that at all. As far as the economy is bad, I have noticed gas prices. Yesterday, I paid like $4.20 for a gallon of gas, and everybody's up in arms about it. And rightfully so, we should be complaining, but it's interesting to me. Someone made the point the other day, Obama had gas prices over $5 a gallon. I think they said the barrels, over $100 a barrel for 3 years straight. Did you hear any complaining? Nah. Yeah, I searched the Epstein files, and apparently my name's in there a couple times too. I mean, some other guy with my name, I guess. But they're all through the Epstein file. People all through the Epstein file doesn't mean they're guilty. It really doesn't. How did you search the files? Document skimmer? Did you straight up read it? I'm just asking questions again. It's not your gotcha. I spent hours searching his name and trying to find documents with his name in it, reading those things, looking at pictures. There's a actually, I don't know if it's still up or not. I went to look at it the other day. Let me see. Epstein Files Explorer. Okay, it's still up. You should check this thing out too. It's pretty neat. I'm gonna put the link in the chat here. I'm gonna bring it up on screen. It's a pretty good resource. It's called Epstein hashtag file or Epstein-file-explorer.com. And essentially this has got some guy that went on there and got them, basically organized them in a way that's a lot easier to search. Pictures, FBI reports, hidden videos, yada, yada, yada. There's a lot of stuff in there. There's a timeline. There's a lot of stuff in there. It's very interesting. It makes it easier to search as well. Because when you went on the government website, you had to do like 4 clicks before you got to, say, if you were looking for pictures, you'd have to do like 4 clicks before you could find any pictures. But if you click videos, you get all the videos, just all in a row, and you can scan through them pretty quickly. These are all Epstein videos. So yeah, this website is pretty interesting. The guy who posted it said he commented about weaponizing his autism. So yeah, you should check that website out. It's pretty interesting, I think. I don't give a damn about international law, to be honest with you. I really don't give a damn. Constitutionally, it's not against the law. It all depends where you look. 37% approve. I don't pay any attention. If you live by those polls, you shouldn't. You shouldn't if you live by them. What are hidden videos? Let's see what hidden videos. Interesting. Anyway, so that's a pretty neat tool. I would absolutely check that out. It's did I put it in there? Let me put it in the chat there. Ding. Right. You're welcome. Hey, like I said, I joke around. I like to be sarcastic. I like to add a little bit of fun to the show and whatever. Keep it light because this is heavy crap we talk about here. This is heavy stuff. This is the kind of stuff that gives people anxiety and stuff. I don't want to do that to people. So when I do make fun and I
put the voice on there and everything, it's just for me to have a little fun with it. That's all. And a lot of times I'll do it for comments that I think are kind of silly.
And because my voice is all high like that,
that's the same thing as proving you're wrong with evidence.
I can laugh at myself too, you know. Oh, I don't know a lot of Democrats. Well, I have work to do today. I have a job I got to get to here shortly. So we're going to wrap this up. Any last comments, complaints, queries, conundrums? Anything going on there? Let me pull this one thing up. Whatever. Internet not running so dang slow. Dude, he bragged about inspecting 14-year-olds. You can watch him say it. He's a PDF. His Department of Justice. What are you talking about? When did he do that? I mean, if you give me evidence of a crime, it's important to have evidence. To most people, it's important to have evidence. So the ones who just want to push the narrative and that's what's important, they don't care about evidence. I mean, I'll Google it, I guess, but does that mean it's a crime? Is that a crime? Redacted 90% of the names. Oh my God. Facts. You gotta look for facts. Don't go to Wikipedia for your information. Don't just Google stuff. Facts. Find the source material. Don't just listen to some some clown on the internet. Hello. Don't just listen to some clown on the internet. Look for those facts yourself. Find them yourself. That's an interesting, yeah, right? Oh, it's all going to come out in the wash, whatever the hell that means. Hey, everybody, smile at a stranger because dang, out here, everybody hates everybody else. People are angry. You wear the wrong hat, you got the wrong skin color, you believe in the wrong God. We're all Americans. Can we just be Americans? We're different. That's fine. We have differences. It's okay to have differences. I love you. We love you all. God bless you. God willing, I'll be here tomorrow morning, and we'll have ourselves another message. God bless you. Have a great weekend if I don't see you. Thanks for being here. You are appreciated.